assist you in creating a wallet and loading cash through that wallet for the first time. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk through the few steps that you take, right, in order to make this happen. So what we'll show you are the screens of the Grab app and this new feature that we have. So if you look at the left side, obviously some of it you know, right? There's a tile called car, right? And when you click that, nowadays, there's actually a safety precaution called Grab Protect, right? Which basically is a checklist for you to tell people whether, are you safe, not mask, are you wearing a mask, how many passengers are riding. So this is kind of a checklist to ensure that passengers are following the rules. And then when you get to the Grab app, there's this, see that that thing in red there called cash in by a driver. That's the new feature, because today all you're gonna see is either credit card or Grab Pay, right? So if you don't have a credit card and you don't have Grab Pay, you cannot take Grab Car. And this is kind of the problem that we have for our customers. So prior to the lockdown, 70% of our passengers were on cash and only 30% were on cashless. So as you can see, it's been a struggle for a lot of them to get into the to follow the cashless mandate of the government. So we're finding a way to make it easy for them through this feature called Cash in by a Driver. Next slide, please. Okay, so if you then look at the whole booking flow, right? If you now select GrabCar 2-seaters, Cash in by a Driver, there's a pop-up, which is the second screen there, that appears. And it basically says, paying with cash is no longer allowed, right? But you will need to cash in with your driver during the ride for the first time, right? So there's a notification that says this is what you need to do, and then it gives you instructions and you need to say, yes, I got it. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, now that you've selected cash in by a driver and you've been allocated a driver for the first time, what will happen is as you take the car, there is an assisted flow to create your GrabPay wallet for the first time, right? And the app and the driver can both help you create that wallet. So, which is back to my analogy of, the human in the MRT booth giving you your card for the first time, and this is basically that experience. Next slide, please. Okay. So now that you've gotten into the car, you're gonna get some notifications inside, which basically says activate your wallet, right? Activate. There's a lot of these pop-ups. And what happens is, if you press that button, it's gonna go through a standard KYC, know your customer, right? Which you should be familiar. People should be familiar with, either with GCash or PayMaya, which basically asks for a name, an ID. Next slide. Okay, address, and age, right? So these are the four. It asks for these four pieces of information. And once you filled all of that up, it basically creates your wallet for the first time. Okay. Okay. Next slide. Okay. Now that you have your wallet, all you need to do to close, to pay for the first time, is you need to give your cash to the driver for the first time. Next slide, please. Okay. You need to give your driver cash for the first time. You need to select, how much you're cashing in, and it's basically a cash in, right? So think of it as, you're going to 7-Eleven and putting in money into your wallet, right? So this is the same experience. You give money for the first time, it goes into your wallet. Okay, and then you click OK, which is the third bullet point there. Okay, next slide. There. Okay, and then the money obviously goes into the wallet. right? There is a cash box, right? Inside the Grab car for you to put that money, which is below the barrier, so we make sure that nobody is actually handling cash, physical cash for safety purposes. And then the money goes into your wallet. So when the ride ends, what basically happens is the system will automatically deduct, the ride. Let's say the ride is, I don't know, 250 pesos, right? And you cash in 300. So it will deduct 250 from your wallet. And that's the whole experience. So to summarize, the way we look at it is it's an assisted way of getting you into cashless for the first time. Because obviously the fact that you don't have cashless when you book this ride means you probably do not have a credit card or you do not have a GrabPay account yet, right? So the driver and this flow basically helps you to create that wallet for the first time. So the next time you ride, you don't need cash anymore. You have money in your wallet, which you can put somewhere else.